110 fire outbreaks were recorded across the country in the first 4 days of 2015. At a news conference in Accra, the Ghana National Fire Service said 65 fire outbreaks also occurred between December 23rd and 26th last year. A report by Godfred Tenham.
The reduction of fire outbreaks in the country has been a challenge for both the Ghana National Fire Service and the public. In Accra, for instance, on the night of December 31st, the Dom Central Market was gutted by fire, destroying property worth thousands of Ghana cedis. On January 2 this year, a house at Osu also caught fire, killing 2 kids. A warehouse of Melcom groups of companies at the industrial area also caught fire on January 3, destroying almost everything. These worrying trends have prompted the fire service to step up its efforts.
A lot of institutions do not have the appropriate fire cover. In spite of the fact that we have addressed the issue of fire safety measures in various institutions, industries, communities, I believe people tend to ignore these things with impunity. And as an institution responsible for fire management of undesired fires in this country by law, we may not sit down to allow these things to continue like that. You go to Abosiokai, now you have people selling aerosol, mosquito sprays as fire extinguishers. The task force from today is going to go around. They are going to Abosiokai and all other places to ensure and advise them about the usage of these type of inferior substandard extinguishers.
According to the Chief Fire Officer, Dr. Albert Brown-Gazy, fire outbreaks in the country put a lot of pressure on logistics.
As of now, some of the industries do not conform to our safety standards. And in spite of the fact that when these fires occur, they have serious consequential effect on our operational costs. Apart from the lives of the firemen who are exposed, apart from the fact that the tear and wear is something that cannot be quantifiable, and apart from the fact that there are other resources which has to accompany the operational response to these fire outbreaks, it also has a serious effect on our financial and logistical base.
He mentioned inadequate water hydrants, unauthorized electrical connections, overloading of circuits as major causes of the fire.
Well, joining us to discuss the rampant fire outbreaks in the country is Divisional Officer Prince Billy Anaglate. He's a PR of the Ghana National Fire Service. Thank you very much, sir. Over 100 fire outbreaks just 8 days in 2015. What could be the problem?
Can you come again? I didn't get the question well.
I was asking that in just 8 days in 2015, we've had over 100 fire outbreaks. What could be the problem?
Well, actually, these fire outbreaks, most of these fire outbreaks could have been prevented. But I think since fire safety is a shared responsibility for all other stakeholders, including the fire service and the public as well, and the fire service has been doing everything possible. Before the close of the year, there were several measures that we put in place to ensure that fires do not occur. So now that the fires are coming, what we have observed is that the public are not able to complement their effort in terms of fire prevention. Several education have gone out, but we realize that those measures have not been implemented within their premises. That has accounted for this number of fire outbreaks that we have.
When you say several education on this matter, who exactly have you been educating?
Hello?
When you say there's been a lot of education on this matter, I'm asking who have you been educating?
Yeah, many attempts about education has gone down to everywhere, where we are even in the communities, we are even in the churches, we are educating people. We are even send people into the market where they are educating people. And then we are even send out the patrol teams, monitoring activities of people, even in the nights where they are even in the discos and other places to monitor people's activities to ensure that people do not go contrary to the fire safety measures. But I only think that apart from many people not taking the education seriously, people are also not availing themselves for some of the education that we are giving out. You know, it is only a sheer attitudinal change that we are looking out for, but people failing to change their attitude, that has also been part of this effort that the fire service is making, and then still we are within the fire zone that we are studying. We were hoping that at least this year will be a fire-free year for us, if really all of us collectively we are able to ensure that we implement the safety measures that we have outlined there for us to prevent some of these fires.
We recently witnessed a fire outbreak at the North Industrial Area, which raged down the warehouse of Melcom. I know that one of your fire service men had raised particular issue with industries and how they take their safety standards and precautions. Do you intend to take any drastic measures, particularly when it comes to industries?
Yes, our airline 1724 Fire Precaution Premises Regulation of 2003 stipulated it clearly that commercial premises such as the industries or the warehouse that got burnt at the Melcom warehouse, they are supposed to meet the safety standard. That is why we certified them when they met the safety standard. This safety standard or the measures that need to be put in place, first of all, is to look out the means of escape. That the adequate exits that might be calculated in the design and the construction of these buildings. Apart from that, we look out for early detection and warning system facilities. That they should have smoke detectors and alarm system within the building, so that even if in the night the place is closed and there is any fire in the detector will detect it and alarm people outside for them to know, so that as early as possible, since they are also trained in the basic knowledge of using those facilities, they will be able to use those facilities and be able to extinguish it. Some of the things that we also look out for is adequate facility of water that we would need in case of firefighting. That is hydrants that they should also have in place. Not forgetting that every worker or most of the workers within the premises are also supposed to be taken through the firefighting and the fire drill, so that in case of any emergency they will be able to evacuate themselves. So these are some of the measures that are to be placed in all industries or all commercial premises.
Very finally, Mr. Anaglate, I've also heard arguments about the peculiarity of this season in which we are, which is a dry season, and how susceptible it is to fire outbreaks. Is that also a concern to you?
Yes, if we are looking at the Harmattan season, that has also contributed, been part of the reason why we are having major some of these fire outbreaks. In the sense that the Harmattan has actually taken up the moisture content from the combustible materials that we are having. It has then reduced the ignition temperatures of all these combustible materials that we have. It simply means that the ambient temperature at which those combustible materials could not have been burnt previously before the Harmattan. This time, the level of the fire will not even get to that level before those materials will start burning. So yes, the Harmattan, the season that we are in, has also contributed to some of these fire outbreaks. Not also forgetting that this season, the Harmattan season, has also come with the Xmas and the New Year festivities, when people have also decided to have various others in terms of electricity that have been extended from one place to the other. They have also not been able to determine the type of gadget, the level of gadget, and they have also overloaded so many sockets. We should also not forget the fact that even this time that there is blackout with us, people are still using candles.
All right, thank you very much. Prince Billy Anaglate is the Public Relations Officer of the Ghana National Fire Service.